If you're thinking about buying a house and you just can't get comfortable with the idea, this video is for you. If you're just starting out learning about buying a house, or even if you've tried before and had to back off because the timing is wrong, but now you're ready to go again, let me show you the tricks to the trade. When you get your head around the process, buying a home is a lot less of a big deal. What I'm showing you here is a step-by-step way to buy a house. I also want you to understand there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to buying a house. Every deal is different, but there are some basics that, when understood, make the home buying process a lot less intimidating. The goal of this video is not to train you up like a realtor, but to make you a better informed consumer. I'm going to make a suggestion. Just watch this video all the way through the first time. Don't take notes, just sort of let it roll over you. Then come back to the video in an hour or a day and watch it again. This time, maybe take a note or two. You can download my free Ultimate First Time Home Buyer Guide. The link is in the description. Remember, watch the video first, kind of get the lay of the land, then download the guide and go through it again with that. The video and the guide are not identical. They're designed to work together to give you a fuller picture. So, here we go. Step 1. Understanding your finances. This can be scary for some. When you first take a close look at where you are financially, you're facing the truth on whether you can buy a house or not, even if buying a house is a remote possibility. For others, this can be just the next step in a well-prepared plan of action. My hat's off to the second group. If you're in that group, good for you. Full disclosure, I was not that guy. Now, first things first, I want you to know what your credit score is. Download a free credit app like Wallet Hub or Credit Karma. I'll leave links in the description for those. Like it or not, a person's credit score, if you're getting a loan, drives the train. The better your credit score, the better the odds of getting a lower mortgage interest rate. To be clear, credit score is not everything, but it has a huge impact on what lenders are able to give you in terms of loans. So the second thing is to get a handle on how much debt are you carrying. What is your debt to income ratio? Now, don't worry, I'm not asking you to break out the spreadsheet or a calculator. I only want to introduce you to the term. The debt to income ratio that you carry is a financial measure calculated by dividing an individual's total monthly debt by their gross monthly income. Basically, it means after paying all your bills, how much money do you have left at the end of the month? Your best bet, the smartest thing you can do when it comes to understanding your finances and your ability to buy a house, is talk to a lender. I'm going to mention lenders a lot. Just be okay with the idea that to buy a house, for most of us, we need a partner. A partner is just going to give us a lot of money. That partner is a lender. Let me say this about that. A conversation with a lender does not imply obligation. You're not married to the first person you talk to. This is important. I want you to feel free to talk to as many or as few lenders as you want. Different lenders have different loan products. Some are better than others. Look for a referral from someone you trust who's had a good experience and start with them at first. I'll leave the contact info for the lender I use to buy my house. I highly recommend the guy. He made my home buying journey very easy. Remember, the reason for a conversation with a lender at this point is to simply gather information. All you're looking for is how much house can you afford, including all the other expenses that we're going to be bringing up in a second here. There's basically two types of lender qualifications as far as I'm concerned. One is how much can you technically afford, meaning based on income and debt, what's the max you can tolerate? And the second is more conservative. It leaves you some breathing room financially. Go with the lender that leans conservative. They're being more responsible with your money, in my opinion. If you're wondering how much does it cost to buy a house, the answer is that depends. Mostly on three things. How much does a house cost? How much down payment do you need based on the loan type? How much repair cost will be needed for the house that you're going to buy? In general, here are the things to budget for. Your lender, there's that word again, will help you sort out most of these. Number 1, down payment. Number 2, expected monthly mortgage payments. Number 3, closing costs. Number 4, property taxes. Number 5, home insurance. Number 6, repairs. Number 7, HOA fees if you're in that kind of a situation. Number 8, utilities. Number 9, moving expenses. Number 10, updating expenses, like if you need new fixtures or whatever the case may be. This list can be overwhelming, but hear me out. Except for the moving expenses, immediate repairs, and updates that you choose to do, all the rest will be explained by your lender. They can take you from "this is way too scary" to "I can do this pretty quick." Trust me, I went through exactly that. Step 2, get pre-approved. Take this step when you're sure you're close to making an offer. The outcome of step 1 will give you a solid idea how much house you can afford and what type of loan will work best for you. There's lots of loan options designed for all kinds of situations. Learning what loan is best for you and why is very important, I believe. My main thrust for clientele is for them to be well informed. That doesn't mean being overwhelmed with details, but it does mean being able to sleep at night because you know what you're actually getting into and you're comfortable with it. Plus now, you should have a lender you trust who can generate a pre-approval letter quickly when the right time comes. Now you're in the game, locked and loaded, as I like to say. As a buyer, you're going to be in one of 2 states, just looking around, kicking the tires, getting a sense of the market. Number 2, you're going to be in the hunt and ready to buy. If you're just trying to get a sense of things, don't get your pre-approval letter just yet. They do expire in 30, 60, 90 days, whatever time frame for your lender. If you're ready to make an offer, by all means, have your pre-approval letter ready to go and filed away. A word of caution. Don't rate chase once you've found a lender you trust. Don't let TV advertisements for low rates make you question your lender choice. Instead, if you see something, call your lender and ask them about it. I've seen more than one deal fall apart because somebody started rate chasing and changing lenders in the middle of the game. Step 3, finding the right home. I'm going to warn you, this goes a little quick. You would think this is a piece of cake, just find a house and buy it. In my experience, this is where people can get lost on their way to buying a house. Here's why. Remember when we talked about how much house you could afford to buy and how there's 2 different qualifications, the amount that'll max you out and the amount that'll leave you some breathing room? When you start looking for homes, it is so easy to fall in love with the ones that are going to max you out. If you've not decided what your max amount is ahead of time, it's going to happen to you too. I can almost guarantee it. So here's what you do. Decide the max price and stick to it. Decide on the range of square feet. Do pick a minimum. How many bedrooms, bathrooms, and if you need extra space like a basement or a bonus room. When you go search online, be strict with your criteria. For example, my maximum amount is X number of dollars. I want at least 2,200 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, an office space, plus a bonus room or a basement. I want at least 0.25 acres for some elbow room and a garage. The home needs to be in such and such a location or as close to possible as that. When you are clear on your price point and your criteria, if the location you want gives you 0 options, you're in the wrong location. If your preferred location gives you several options, then you're good to go. The last tip I have for home searching is this. Let the right house come to you. Don't push, don't stress, it'll come. If you do get stressed out, I'm telling you, it's going to be tempting to go to houses that are the next level up, more expensive, just to see what they're like. And I'm telling you, that is heartbreak waiting to happen. Please don't do this until at least you've seen a few in your actual price range. Get clear on what you can comfortably afford provides first in terms of how much house you can get. Should you hire a realtor? Because I myself am one. It's a bit of a challenge to not seem biased towards a profession that's fed me for a couple of decades. So instead of suggesting you hire one, let me have you consider a few things. And this isn't a trick, I'm just asking. Do you know how to write a contract that protects your interest? Do you know how to negotiate the best price, to get the most repairs done by the seller, or to get a reduction for the work that needs to be done? Do you know how to minimize that risk? Do you know how to walk away without losing earnest money? Do you know how to salvage a good deal gone bad back to a good deal? If you're comfortable with all of the above, you're good to go. If not, hire an agent. The very best way is to talk to a friend who's had a good experience and get a referral. I'm sure you're comfortable using online tools like Realtor.com and Zillow. Visit open houses, get a good sense of what's on the market. In my opinion, this is the only way to actually know when you're getting a good deal or not. Know the market you're shopping in. The bottom line is a realtor helps you navigate the process. They'll help you be comfortable in the midst of stress. Can you go it alone? Absolutely. Just be clear on the risks. We talked about the questions versus the benefit. If you're thinking you'll get a discount from the seller for not using an agent, that may or may not be the case. Most of the time, it just means the listing agent's getting more money. There's more to that than I can lay out right here. Anyway, step 3, find the right house. Step 4, make it an offer. I'm going to explain the basic offer process as if you didn't have an agent so that you can know what to expect if and when you hire one. When you find a house you want to make an offer on, make sure you have your pre-approval letter in hand. Here's the basics of an offer. Decide on the offer price. Decide on how much earnest money put down. A little tip, make it as small as possible. Decide, do you need seller help with closing costs? Depending on market conditions, this absolutely can be had. Will you have home inspections? Will there be contingencies to the purchase? Will you buy the property as is? What is your top dollar amount if there's multiple offers? This isn't an exhaustive list because any number of things can pop up. A concrete step-by-step example really isn't possible because contracts are case by case, but because you've been introduced to the basics with this video, it'll be a lot less of a concern. You've seen some of this stuff before. Should you buy a fixer-upper or a move-in ready home? For fixers, it really boils down to 2 things. What's the purchase price? And how much is it going to cost to do the repairs, if any, and make updates to make the home your own? Versus buying a move-in ready home that doesn't need repairs or updating. Fixer-uppers may cost less at purchase, but could cost more in the long run. That's just a calculation you're going to have to make. Move-in ready is what it is. You get what you pay for. Here's one, when to walk away. The offer process when buying a home looks like this. Make an offer, get a counter offer, usually back and forth negotiating purchase price and repair issues and anything else that comes up until there is a meeting of the minds. That's the term we use for people coming to an agreement. There can be closing date changes as well as any number of things to get to an agreement. Most of the time, buyers and sellers do have a meeting of the minds because they have similar goals, moving. One wants to move in, the other wants to move out. Everybody's in agreement with that. But sometimes coming to an agreement and having a meeting of the minds never happens. If you can't get the price you need or the repairs done that seem appropriate or any other term you need to have to make this a deal you can live with, don't be afraid to walk away, even if it means you're going to lose some inspection dollars, which almost always happens. There will be more homes you like down the road. When it comes to negotiations, a word of caution. Don't expect to get everything you want. A good negotiation is where everybody leaves something on the table that they wanted. Step 5, home inspections and closing. When you make an offer, you should include having some home inspections as well. You can have anything you want inspected. A general home inspection covers a lot of ground, but it doesn't cover everything. If you're unsure about the roof or the HVAC, the foundation, or the structure, you'll need to get separate inspections for those. Inspectors, general home inspectors, are on the lookout for red flags. Not everything they point out is a problem. Instead, it may be something to keep your eye on moving forward after you've moved in. Your inspection report will be long. Just be ready for that. Just understand they include what this thing does, kind of information, how does this work, and what might be a problem down the road. It's going to include both of those. Their job is to help you assess the overall condition of the home. In short, you're watching out for deal breakers. You will know when these come up. You will know when these come up. Once you get past the inspections and the repair requests, if any, and all the contingencies have been cleared, all you're doing is waiting for the lender and the title company to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. Remember to switch over the utilities. A day or two before closing, you'll do a final walkthrough. This is where you do a quick visit to make sure everything is as you expect, that it basically is the same as when you looked at the house the first time. Appliances and such, that's still there. Closing day will come, you'll sign the documents, and you will be handed your house keys. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. You will never forget the first time you drive into your new place and stand just inside the front door and know you're home. There just isn't anything like it. If you're getting value from my videos and you want to be the first to learn about the changing real estate market here in Nashville and in Williamson County, hit subscribe, tap the bell. That'll help both of us. Thanks so much. See you later. Talk to you soon.